Project 1065, Chapter 84, The Waiting Snake. The Edelweiss Resort clung to the side of the mountain a few hundred feet below the peak, its spindly-looking wooden pillars supporting decks that stuck out into the air. It was all golden brown wood and soft glowing lights and pointy A-frame roofs, covered with windows and terraces that offered guests incredible sweeping long-distance views of the valley far below. Basically, it was an acrophobe's worst nightmare. My legs wobbled as I left the cable car, but I was glad to be back on solid ground, even if that solid ground was 8,000 feet in the air. I kept my back to the view and my eyes on the resort, where all the passengers were queuing up in a Warteschlange, a waiting snake, German for a long line, to go through security. Security! The Swiss soldiers at the doors were going to go through the bags of each attendees and patting each of them down. For weapons, I guessed, though one man in the full dress uniform of a country I didn't recognize was let through with a sword in his belt. They were searching for guns then, guns and explosives. I glanced at Fritz and the other two boys. Each of us carried 2 cases, one with our clothes and another with the scientific equipment to assemble our fake science projects. To attend the conference, we were posing as junior scientists, and the kits were our cover. I had no idea what the plan was, how we were supposed to assassinate Professor Goldsmith. Only Otmar knew the plan, which he promised he would tell us as soon as we got to the resort. Did he carry a rifle in his second suitcase? A bomb? If the Swiss guards at the door discovered the weapon we were to use to kill Professor Goldsmith, if they caught us and sent us back to Germany with our tails between our legs, then my job would be done for me. My parents, Simon, they would have sacrificed themselves for nothing, but the professor would be safe, and that's what mattered now. What I was worried about were the plans for Project 1065 taped around my stomach. One simple pat to the side of my body and the guards would feel the tape there, open my shirt, reveal the jet fighter plans I was still carrying. They might not care that I was hiding papers on my body, but Otmar and Erhard and Fritz would care. I would never leave this resort with the plans, if I left the resort alive at all. The waiting snake slithered closer to the Swiss guards at the door, and the plans felt like a stone hanging around my waist. I had to get rid of the papers before we went through security, put them somewhere safe, where I could retrieve them on the way out. A low stone wall separated the aerial tramway station from the small plaza where we waited. The cable car was the only way out of the resort, the only way down the mountain. I'll be right back, I told Fritz, Otmar, and Erhard. I broke away from the line and went behind the low wall. I felt along it for a loose stone and finally found one about the right size. I would hide the plans there, in the stone wall, where they would be safe from snow and Nazi assassins and Swiss guards, then come back for them on the way to the cable car when I was leaving. I had to duck not to be seen over the low wall. I unbuttoned my shirt enough to reach inside and undid the medical tape Ma had given me to strap the plans to my skin. At last they were free, and I pulled out the thick packet of papers. "What are you doing?" a voice asked.